everybody, and welcome back to some War Thunder. I hope you're all well, and you join me today for a match in the G55 Series 2. Series 1, sorry, the Series 1, sorry, not the Series 2. The G55 Series 2, Series 1. Of course, one of my favourite planes, the G55 series, and I'm using this to unlock the new RE2005. Because I want to test it out. I want to see how good it is, because if it's anywhere near as good as this vehicle, then we're in for something special, because this plane is an absolute weapon. This is a true beast of a plane. Of course, it's got the same engine as your BF-109. It's the DB Daimler Benz engine. I can't remember the actual name of it now, but you've got your nice big DB engine up in front. Very simple layout. 320mm MG 121s. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? It's been so long since I've done a video. And then two Brada 12.8mm machine guns, so basically 50 cals. So this thing is armed to the flipping teeth. It also has a lot of ammunition on board. The plane carries a ludicrous amount of ammo and is just so good for survivability. This thing can take knocks, it can climb, it can maneuver. It is just, it is a beauty to behold. And today we're in for something special from me. One of those rare matches where I actually look like I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I know it's bizarre, isn't it? But such a thing can't exist, can it? No, I honestly don't believe it. I have to do video evidence, because I'm being questioned by my own Discord about this match. They don't believe it happened, so I need to show the evidence that it's true. But I am a hero, and yes, my back is absolutely killing me after this match. So the G55 series didn't really make much of a difference in the war. They came a bit too late. The Regina Aeronautica had some fantastic planes in the war, as long as you exclude the XP-88. XP-88, yeah, that's the right one. The Lynx, of course, which was a fantastic prop plane for making people want to bomb it. It was so bad, even the enemy didn't want to bomb it, because it was more painful for the Italians to have it sitting on their airfield than it was to have a smouldering heap. So they really didn't want to keep that plane, because it was terrible in every single way. One of the worst planes ever made, and that's an impressive feat. But the Italians were not always like that. It's a rare exception to the rule. In fact, the Italians had some of the best fighters around. Italian aviation had come a long way. The Italian avionics industry was huge, and they had made some fantastic vehicles. The people that were making the planes were fantastic. I've completely forgotten their names now. My brain is absolutely fried from this game. But basically, the Italian planes were damn good. And this match kind of proves how good they are, because if I can have a good game in a plane, then a player that has any skill will just, they'll just flounce me. So I spy a formation to my left-hand side there, just at my 10 o'clock? Yeah, about 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, sort of 10 o'clock hard, low, just off my left wing there. So I'm keeping an eye off them. I've completely forgot the ME-264 was actually a bomber, so my brain, forgive me. So, story time, just before we get to some action. I recently had a very large tooth infection, and I'm still recovering from it. So we've got a P-61 in escort of two heavy bombers. What are the bombers? Let's have a look. Oh my god, they're two Sterlings. Oh no. Oh, I feel terrible, and I'm the only plane near. So P-61 dives up, we dive down, getting a little bit of damage on him, but now it's time to go for the Sterlings. Now, Sterlings can be dangerous, of course. The 7.62mm can cause a lot of damage to you, so you've got to really try and take them out quick. We take out one gunner, but they hit our engine, our one weakness. We do manage to kill the second one. Now we turn in, get to the P-61, because that's our next target. So the P-61 sort of made a mistake flying into me like that. He should have tried to fly sort of with the planes, because he would have probably done a much better job of defending them. So right now with P61 I've got the slight advantage on, but my engine is pretty much dead. So he doesn't know that, but I do. So we're going to have to just try and take a few pot shots at him and hope that he gets damaged. And of course he uses the 50 cals on top. Our engine is absolutely dying on us. Not enjoying this at all. But we get a lucky strike here. Take the ping. Here we go. And we take out his rudder. So his rudder is gone. And we are in some serious trouble. So I'm trying to finish him off with my guns, just hoping to spray and play. But there's not much more I can do, and I'm going to turn off. But he's also quite heavily damaged. So chances are he's going to probably RTB now. So I'm taking that risk basically, and yep, he's flying away. So good. The Sterling we hit, unfortunately, is very damaged. As you can see, we took out pretty much all of its stuff that's needed. I'm terribly sorry, Orange Fighter and Kermit. I'm so sorry. I really apologise. If you see this video, I'm so sorry to you guys, because I fly Sterlings and I feel the pain. So anyway, our team. There's a 2005 on fire, which is always a good sign. And we're on our way home because, well, we need to take our engine and basically take care of it. So far, the 2005 that's on fire has got 2 kills. We've had a 109 get 1 kill, and myself get 2 kills any second now. Okay, so things are not going too well, but they're not going too badly for us. We've got a few planes up, this should be fine. We've still got a slight sort of a couple of good fighters up, but yeah, you can see that the main fight is pretty much over now. We've lost the fighters, and we're losing fighters at a vast rate of knots. We only have a bomber left, so we'll just quickly head to the airfield now. So in we come. Very gentle landing here as we come in, because well, we've got to be a bit gentle on the old go. So I think about using the grass instead of the concrete, and the engine is about to fail in 3, 2, 1. It's a little bit quick. Engine is dead now. And this grass is very bumpy, so we change our mind quite quickly and go to the tarmac. But we've made it home, so that's one thing in our advantage. We've got one advantage. We've got 2 kills on the board. Yes, they were 2 Sterlings, but they needed to be taken care of at some stage, obviously. And I also drove that P61 back to the airfield. So I could have been in the main furball in the middle with the rest of the fighters, but honestly, it's not going to make that much difference. The amount of fighters to bombers was about the same. Like, we had about the same on either side, so really, you know, we were pretty even team wise. So let's skip forward a little bit in this match. Okay, so we're back in the air. We've been serviced, we've got some more ammunition, we've got our guns ready, and we've now got to go back to the fight. So obviously we know that they had a few planes left. So right now the teams go myself and the ME-264, then the enemy of many fighters, basically lots of things with big guns on board. So they've got a P-51, a P-61, a P-47, a Spitfire, and another P-51. So they are going to be able to just murder me at high altitude. This plane is not a high altitude plane. This is a low to mid altitude plane, where it works best, basically. I always find this thing is mid altitude and it just rocks the world. Its turn speed is great. When you put out flaps, things like this thing will turn like nothing else. Obviously things like the Spitfire do sometimes, you know, get you, and a few American planes can obviously cause damage to you, especially if you're higher up in the altitude. But when you're low altitude in this thing, it turns so well, it handles so well, it just gives you that maneuverability, and it gives you options as well. So right now there's a blind hunt activated. Now, if you don't know what a blind hunt is, it's just a order that basically shows your position on the map to the enemy. So the blind hunt goes to somebody else, and I think that's a Spitfire, if I remember correctly, or somebody else. But eventually it's going to come to me though, which is going to be very, very annoying. And the Spitfire just crashed. Great. So that's one. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead there. Spitfire is about to crash, so there's one less vehicle to worry about. I see where the Spitfire is firing though, so I go towards the tracers, think about going in and taking him out myself. But luckily he decides to hit the head, hit the floor, and take himself out for me. So, you know, that's one less enemy. We're still pretty screwed. It's still 4v2, so and all four of those are actually, you know, designed to fight and able to fight, and we've got a bomber and myself. So we're in a bit of a dire position here. Now, what I'm expecting is for the enemy to be climbing towards the ME264 up there. I'm expecting them to go towards it because, well, obviously it's doing the thing that some bomber pilots do and just staying in space and climbing constantly, which is a very frustrating thing when you're playing a game. It really does hurt the gameplay, and I would advise bomber pilots not to do it. If you're going to do that, you're just going to make the game last longer and you're going to waste everybody's time. You're also not going to help out people. Go land or go and bait. You know, if you bait for a plane, you could get a kill. Sure, the trouble is with the repair cost of these things, you don't want to die, but if you don't have the money, don't take it out. It's as simple as that. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is in the game. It is still extremely broken. So anyway, we're going to be patrolling around here, and I am looking around like a madman. One of the things that's really helped in patch 1.91 is there's been a sound improvement to the stock game. And you can hear so much more around you. You can hear planes, you can hear other engines, you can hear bombs dropping, you can hear these things, and it's so much sharper and clearer, and you get a feeling of where it is, which is really good. And at the moment I'm just freaking out, thinking, oh god, what am I going to do here? I'm just going to end up dying, aren't I? Because I'm expecting a P-51 to fly out of the sun any minute and rip my wing off. But I'm also looking for targets and just keeping an eye out for things, and we've got the P-61 down underneath us destroying a few artillery pieces and AA and stuff. So obviously that's going to be a relatively high value target to take out. Now the reason I say that is because he turned the tide of the game with things like bombs or rockets, or things like that, heavy ordnance basically, and destroy targets of value, and we could lose on tickets, which is currently what we're doing. We're losing on tickets, and the game could be a stalemate now for the rest of the match, but we're going to lose on tickets. Now we can just about see the outline of the plane below us, and we're going to dive on it. I've decided that's going to be my job. I'm going to try and take him out. He's the one I had a fight with earlier. I want to finish the job and want to get it. Oh crap, there's a P-51 on my tail. So this changes my mind on who I'm going to attack first, because now there's a P-51 on my 6, and that's not a good feeling. Obviously there's a plane below us and there's a plane behind us now, so we're going to have to choose our targets pretty carefully. So we go into a dive and just trying to lure that P-51 in right now. So we go in, and the P-51 is above us, and for some reason he's going into a still climb above us. I don't understand your methodology, my friend, but whatever, we'll shoot you, that's fine. So we managed to damage him. So we managed to basically break his tail fin, I think, off the top of my head. And surprisingly, nobody's been baited in on this. Now, there is another fighter going to come in any second, but we are actually we didn't get baited completely. I was expecting to be completely baited. Now, he's missing half of his wing, so he's not really too much of a problem. But this P-47's coming in now. And this P-47 is obviously going to be a problem. For some reason, it tries to use rockets on me. Okay. I think I got somewhat lucky in this match. So P-47's below me. We go in, miss our first shot. Now we're going to get into a bit of a turn fight here, but we are going to be able to outturn this Jug at this altitude. There is no possible chance of him outturning us. The only thing we've got to worry about is that P-51, who is currently above us, but this P-47 is climbing in front of me. What are you doing? We take off his wing, and it's a Jug, so I do want to kill it because I know these things can survive anything. And we make him go boom. And P-51's no longer above us. Wait, what? What's going on here? What P-51, what are you doing? The P-51 has decided to dive. Maybe because he is lost that bit of wing. He's gone into a little bit of a panic right now. So, the P-51 dives for some unexplained reason. And, well, he's probably going to try an RTB. So, we've really got no targets on us at the moment. Hear another plane though. And this is where the sort of sound just throws me off a little bit, because I'm thinking, is there something on my 6? Is there something around me? I'm trying to find this plane. And we're going to turn, we're just looking for it. And, oh, there it is, it's underneath us. It's the P-61! So the P-61 is underneath us, so we go for the dive, and we're going to try and go up and underneath him. Because, of course, they've got that fantastic top gun system, the multiple 50 calibers on top. But from underneath, they're a little bit exposed. So we come in, we luckily managed to take off the tail assembly, and we kill him. Whew. Okay, that was hectic. We just killed 3 planes. We've just got an ace. That's fantastic. I think the other P-51, yes, has crashed, so there's only 1 plane left now, and he's up there with the ME-264. And, spoiler alert, the ME-264 dies. So I think he's actually already dead. So yes, he's already dead. So the ME-264 is dead, and now we have a plane miles above us. And, well, in the chat, the ME-264 is pleading for his life because of the expense. But I sort of do the honourable thing of saying, you know, well, come on, would you like to meet up and do this like a gentleman and actually save ourselves a little bit of time? But this is a one-on-one fight now. And this is something I don't like. I get very jittery in this circumstance because I don't know where somebody is. I don't know where they are. I get very on edge. And right now I've decided I'm just going to return to base and refuel, rearm, and get back into the fight, because he's going to have some serious altitude. He's already got the altitude advantage on me, so there's no point in trying to bait him down, because he's going to have the speed, the energy, and the altitude on us. So let's just skip ahead a little bit. So nice little landing there, and we're going to turn around and sort of just thinking now what to do. So luckily I actually had the RE2005 pilot still in the chat with me. He appears a little bit later on, I think. And he was actually quite helpful, just chatting away, just keeping my mind off the thought of the impending doom of the P-51 coming down on me. So I of course asked if he wants to rearm and meet, and we don't get it. So we're going to skip ahead a bit, because this section does get a little bit tedious. Now right here we use an Avenger, and we know his position now. He's actually going into land, so good news. The other thing as well is the guy in chat lets me know of his actual altitude and stuff like that, because I can't see that. When you report a target's position, it just, on your screen it says attack blah blah, but for everybody else it gives you the altitude. So letting him know that altitude is quite handy. Obviously it's not going to be handy now because he is going into land, but the end of game vehicles have popped up as well. So right now I'm in a position where I got the altitude on him, but he's got the airfield advantage. I don't want to go near that airfield because I know I'll get shot down. So I'm not going to swoop down on the airfield or swoop on him as he's taking off, because honestly I don't think it's fair. To me it's like people who sort of just spawn camp and stuff like that. It takes away some of the fun of the game, in all honesty. So we'll let him be, but we do want to bait him a little bit. So I've got a good speed advantage, I've got a good altitude advantage here. So what I'm going to do is, I know his position now, but this Avenger isn't going to last forever, but we do know he's landed, and that's one big piece of information, because we can kind of see his little silhouette for a couple of moments and sort of keep an eye on him a little bit. So what I'm planning is I'm going to go down and attack the key vehicles and see if I can lure him into my position. So my thought process here is to attack the vehicles and hopefully have him come over to try and fight me while I regain the altitude advantage. So keeping an eye on it, and of course I say in chat the fact that I am a terrible pilot. This is just an extraordinarily good plane, which is the truth, and I can just about see his position, so I'm going to go in. He's not taken off yet. I can go in and easily take down a few vehicles. So that's my plan for this very moment. So I'm keeping an eye on the airfield, I'm keeping an eye on him, and just making sure that I know where he is at all time. If I can get his position, then I'm fine. If I lose his position, then I'm in trouble, and that's going to be what happens when he actually takes off. So he's still taking off at the moment. He's still on the airfield, so we're very safe right now. There's no other enemy planes up. We take down a couple of trucks just as a sort of, hey look, I'm over here, come and get me. And then we're going to start regaining our altitude and get our advantage on him again. But this is where my line of sight starts sort of getting a bit iffy, because you can kind of see the little black spot here. Now that's the enemy, but he's just blinked out of existence on my screen. And he's sort of flickering in and out. I don't want to get too close to their airfield, I don't want to get hit by AA. So I'm just trying to keep an eye on him as he goes. But I'm going to lose sight of him, and I do now. So I'm a little bit blind, but that's okay. We're just going to try and keep our altitude and try and nab him on his climb. Now hopefully he's going to start climbing in this direction, and that's kind of what I hoped, but well, unfortunately that's not how it happened. As you can see, this is a very long match, so we're just going to skip ahead again a little bit. So I decided to come down from altitude and just strike a couple of vehicles again, because I've completely lost his position, and in this moment it's kind of hard, because if you don't know his position then you're kind of stuck. Right now he definitely could have the altitude advantage on me, he could be on my 6. But I've just throttled my engine back just to listen and see if I can hear him coming. And there's no noise, so take out these trucks quickly. And I'm going to completely destroy them. I'm going to turn back around in a moment and take them out completely, because he's just taken out one of our vehicles, and that's just given me his location. And that is a huge bit of an advantage towards me. But of course we need to make sure that we still have sort of equal tickets as we go into this, because ticket situation is starting to look a bit grim for us. We don't have the same tickets, and we're going to lose this match if I don't manage to get a few points on the board. So I'm going to destroy these couple of vehicles just to help with the points a little bit. Also, you know, give ourselves a few extra points. Mission accomplished, and that just gets our tickets into the positive for the first time this match in forever. But we know he's destroying vehicles too. Now, we both know that. We both have this information, but it's who uses it first. Who's going to use this information to take advantage of their enemy? Now, I'm expecting him to come towards me, so I'm going to start climbing and get into a position to attack him. So we've gained some altitude and we've got some critical information. He's still attacking our vehicles, which means that he is low. He's not at altitude. Now I'm looking around to see if I can see any tracer fire, because of course that's going to be a dead giveaway, because we're going to see his position, or if I can see one of those vehicles destroyed. Now I can see that there's only 3 there, which means that there have been 3 destroyed. So he's obviously around this location. It's just a part of spotting him. And this is where having somebody else along with you as a spectator really can pay off, because right now we know what's going on. We know the enemy's below us. Now I'm going to try and use the sun to my advantage to basically blind him and hopefully have it so he can't see me too well. And I'm just keeping an eye on these little dots to see if any blink out of existence. There are a few different cars though, there are a few different vehicles, so it's just keeping an eye on them and seeing where they go out. Of course, while we're doing this, he could be laying a trap for us. But we've just lost a couple of vehicles there. He's down there somewhere. Now's the thing. Can I actually spot him? Because we're quite high at the moment. We're at 8,000 feet, so we're relatively high up. And spotting him is quite hard. Now, obviously, this isn't an ace to pilot or anything like that, so I don't have the advantage. But, okay, I've just seen a vehicle go out below me. So, the person that's with me says under me, and I see him. I've just got a glimpse of him. He's just going across that road now. So, we're going to go for the dive on him. Now, he's actually rolled over and completely got me. And we just miss him. Now, this is where the real battle's going to begin. I turn in, I know I'm going to get hit here, but I know this plane can take it. We get a slight bit of damage to the plane, but we're at low altitude and so is he. And I know that this plane can do some fantastic things at this altitude. My pilot is blacking out a bit at this G tolerance, because we are well beyond G tolerance right now, and I'm using my flaps. Using those flaps, great advantage. Going to landing flaps and back up. And that's got me on his 6. He's away from me, so we're just going to send a few pot shots out just to try and cause some damage to him, because we need to get some damage on him at least. If we can damage any part of his plane, we're going to be okay for this fight. Now, we do have some slight tail damage, we've got some slight centre wing damage, but there's nothing major. Everything else on our plane works. Now we're in a chase situation, and the Mustang has got the advantage. It's faster than me. But only just. It's a neck and neck fight right now. So it's who can get there first. And, well, he's diving to get a little bit more speed now. And that's going to get him a little bit closer to me. And we might just spray out a couple of shots, but we're holding back for the moment and just getting into a sort of good rhythm here. So we're going to make him think that we're going to break off, and that's going to be my move for attacking. Because basically I want to break, force him to turn and then break back in on him. So any moment now we will go for the break. Now I'm kind of annoyed because he's in the sun at the moment, so that means that I won't be able to see him through the glare. But I just do a feint break and he takes the bait. He turns in on us. Now this is going to be a head-on, and that's always dangerous. But he doesn't go for it. He actually goes underneath me, which is a huge disadvantage and a huge mistake. And this is really where he signed his death warrant, because we've now got the speed on him, we've now got the distance, and we are going to be able to light up our guns. Few misses, but we get that hit, and we've taken out his tail control. That's really good news for us. We're only at 5 kilometers now. We are so close to this. We can basically spray and pray, and there we go. 6th kill. What a carry. Oh, my back and my throat are exhausted. Okay, let's head to the post-battle screen results. Okay, I've got to admit, I'm actually shaking a little bit right now from that match. A real adrenaline pumper right there. Boy, what a match. Honestly, none of that was skill. The G55 is one of the best planes there is in this game, honestly. I'm looking forward to taking out the 2005, seeing how well that performs up against the G55 series, because those things are absolute beasts, as we just saw. So, Last Man Standing, Survivor, Hero of the Sky, Final Blow, Professional ×6, Avenger, Ground Force Rescue Double Strike, and Shadow Strike Streak ×4. Obviously, we finished first with 5k points. That was just, yeah, that was a lot. I was a little bit shaky after that. Let's just look at our last player there. So level 37. So not an experienced player by the looks of things. You know, looks like they've played a bit of time, but obviously not the most experienced of players. 7 days in fighter though, that's quite good. So absolute props to them. Really good fight at the end. Yeah, that was just epic. That was so much fun. Obviously made 186,000 lions and 23,000 research points, which has pretty much got me the RE 2005. Also got a battle task done as well. What a bloody good show. Yeah, I am just speechless after that. So let's just head back to the hangar. So that match paid for my RE 2005. Yes, we are ordering you. Purchasing you, I guess. And you will go into this slot here with one of my more experienced pilots in it. And then what should we carry on with researching? I think I can get the SM92 now, or I could go towards the Vampire. I kind of want to get that done as well. And of course, that's also all of the rest of this plane now aced, so that's really, really cool. So that's some nice experience there as well. So pretty damn happy with that. So I had about 20,000 research points or something stupid like that towards the 2005, and obviously made a heap of research points that match, so that was really good. Yeah, the G25, G55 series, sorry, the Sotosiri, the Series O, basically the test plane, is one of my favourite planes because it is so good at 4.0. 4.7, the G55 Series 1 is fantastic as well. I'd actually recommend it over the premium one, which has gone missing for some reason. Have they actually removed it from game now? The premium version is just the G55 Series 1 that has the attachment for a torpedo. And this thing is just absolutely monstrous. As I say, if a pilot like me can do a game like that, then anyone can. Okay guys, thank you so much, and I will see you all next time for some more War Thunder. Bye bye.